Everybody, welcome to another Money Reviews. Today we're checking out these EG67 pouches from Enola Gaye for their EG67 grenades. Before we get into these, though, I do really quickly need to talk about Corporate Wars Blood Money 3. It is the next installment in the Corporate Wars series from Kinetic Impact Airsoft. It's going to be at D14, October 13th. It's a Sunday. This face popping up is mine. That is my code MONEY. Use that in the link in the description below. $5 off your ticket. It's a good time. Now let's get on the review. So these actually came to me from Kinetic Impact Airsoft, which in turn came from Enola Gaye to them. And they said, hey, check these out. You want to review them? And I said, of course I do. I want to see these. So these are EG67 specific pouches. We do have an EG67 right here. We're going to see how these pouches stack up, hold up, and what they're all about. So here's one that's on the package. As you can see, they're both in black. It's identical. They do come in OD green and coyote brown as well. If you saw my EG18 pouch review, which should have come out before this. Yeah, pretty sure it did. If it hasn't, well, surprise. Anyway, if you saw that review, you saw what the coyote brown and the green look like if it had already come out. And they're pretty good. They look nice. They're very color close to the real deals. And black is black, so it's whatever. What is up with these pouches? What's so cool about it? Well, they do have EG's logo stitched in here. It's very low key. Doesn't really stick out and say, hey, look at me, like the other pouch does. And they are a fragmented pouch, but they are cool because, and when I was first testing them, I didn't even notice this feature, which I'm about to show you. Let's get the 67 out of here. You get them in here, right? You close them up. They're pretty cool. There's a few things I don't like, which I'll get into in a second, but they're in your pouch. You're doing your thing. You open that up. And you can even open the bottom and drop it in your hand. You can go either direction depending on your preference. So if you know you're not going to open it from the top, you're going to open it from the bottom, you can pre-stage it for that. Kind of neat. I kind of dig that. I will not lie. Now, very lightweight material. It's like it says nylon something or other, blah, blah. Supposedly it's not Cordura. It feels kind of like Cordura, but it might not be Cordura. It's more like a nylon pack material. It's very thin. Feels almost like 500, maybe 330. It's very lightweight. When there's nothing in it, it is minuscule. Takes up like no space on your kit. I like that. What I don't like is this. You have a 1 inch? Yeah, you got a 1 inch webbing backer piece here with the snap. Old school Guat style pouches. A lot of pouches did it. Some pouches do it. These pouches did it. These are from Eagle Industries. But they did not add a piece of 1 inch back here to weave through. So when you put these through 2 pieces of pals or 1 or whatever, it gets real loosey-goosey and floppy. It doesn't want to stay tight to your kit because Molly, the whole point is to go through one, through the other, through one, out, snap. So they could have moved this snap down a hair, probably about 1/4 of an inch or an inch, put that piece there, and had a really cool pouch and a really functional pouch. Right now, I think they've got a pouch that is moderately okay and is very floppy. I think it's got some great design sense to it. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be as useful as something like this, because this is going to be very secure to your kit. Now, speaking of this, speaking of other frag pouches, this is an Eagle Industries, I think it's a MLCS pouch, DGLCS, whichever. Same, different, slightly different colors. But anyway, this frag pouch is for your standard US frag. It will hold a 67, but retrieving your 67 can be a pain. You got to grab it by the neck, try to roll it out. I don't really like that. Looks good for a kit, but not always the best. And some of you are already going like, Muddy, there's single channel back here, 2 channel here. That's the problem. No, it's not. So this is a Longship Designs frag pouch, single channel in the back, using a malice clip right now. And it is stable because it has the ability to run through a piece on the body here, through there, and out. So it's very, very flush, very stable, very firm. Also a great pouch. I absolutely love these. Get them out. You can kind of force your 67 out of the bottom. Nice pouch. I think the 67 pouch would be a contender for an awesome grenade pouch for Airsoft if it just had that little piece of webbing back here. Now, I know through my good friends over at Kinetic Impact, these retail for about $6, but I can't find them as a retail item from Enola Gaye, so I think you'd have to go through your friendly neighborhood Enola Gaye vendor to maybe buy some of these if you really wanted them, or get lucky enough to catch one, be it thrown out to you, or win as a raffle prize at an event, probably. That's probably really the main focus for these, or as samples or giveaways to vendors. Be like, hey, you ordered a bunch of 67s. Here's some pouches for them, blah, blah, blah. And you can do what you want with them. I think Enola Gaye is on a pretty cool design, and I think they missed the mark with not having that piece of webbing back there, because when I did mount this to a rig, it was very loosey-goosey. You know what? Hell, we're going to do it anyway. I've got this OMP from Axel right here, and I will put this on here exactly as it was intended by EG, so you can see what I'm talking about. And there you go. It is very loosey-goosey. It's very floppy because it doesn't have that extra piece to suck it in and make it really tight. So if I was to put a 67 in here, it's not horrid, like I already said, but it's not great, especially once you get the weight of the 67. It's considerably more. This guy doesn't move. It's very tight on there. This guy does move around. So when you're running, it's going to be like, you're going to be a Maraca City. That kind of sucks. If it was flush, yeah, they're going to make a little Maraca sounds because they got BBs in them. But if this thing was completely flush to this OMP, like tacked all the way down, it might be Maracaing, but it won't be doing that. So, yeah, I don't know. You get what you get, so to speak. But comparatively, you've got these kind of frag pouches, these standard frag pouches. This is a good example of what most frag pouches are like. A lot of them have snap closures on the front, like the standard like Molly 2s, stuff like that. These are Gucci compared to a Molly 2, because you got that chalky side release buckle to hold them in. I think EG had a cool design. I would like to have seen that used with the Molly in the back to weave properly. It would, if they made these in multiple colors like they do, I'd buy these in Coyote Brown to run on my kits with the 67s if they were just more stable. I would actually spend dollary dues and buy some because I think they're a cool design. But unfortunately, they are a little whack. Anyway, big thanks to Enola Gaye for sending these to Kinetic Impact, and big thanks to Kinetic Impact for letting me get them in my hands and review them for you. And that's all I got, fellows and lady out there in internet land. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully you got something out of this. As always, man, get out there, play some airsoft, be a bunch of nerds, learn smarter, not harder. And remember, if your field and event allow it, grenades are a ton of fun because they turn that little bit of concealment and cover you thought was good into a nightmare for you. And you really got to rethink your strategy when you are in grenade range. Hopefully it's enough field. Peace.